I think sustainability is going to be a ongoing concern, particularly for loyalty programs. In the Netherlands, for example, there is some talk of wanting to ban frequent flyer programs because they stimulate travel. I don't believe that. We have studies that show that that's not the case. But I think the court of public opinion sometimes is a little bit more difficult to manage. You also have in the Netherlands, there was an attempt to kind of shrink the airport, which would impact KLM. So the impact of loyalty is also under fire. But I think so far that's been postponed. So we'll see how that will change our business. I think we're going to see more focus on trying to push co-brand cards in international markets to further engage loyalty to, in our case, Air France and KLM. Also trying to find more and more ways to personalize our offer to customers. We are no longer in a world where it's a one size fits all market. And I think we're going to need to leverage data better to make sure that we can serve the right offer to the right customer at the right time, which will further engage their loyalty with the airline and their overall their NPS.
Well, we all faced the great inflation, right? Post-COVID, it was very difficult for customers to know what was the right price to purchase and whether or not they were getting the right monetary value out of their engagement with a brand. So that was definitely a big challenge in 2023. I think it will die down in 2024. Another one, which is a challenge still, is how do we use AI, artificial intelligence and Gen AI in general, in a non-intrusive way, in a transparent manner, and how do we make sure that it's fraud-proof and it's the data hallucinations that can be associated with AI are wiped out. How can it be a trusted partner in loyalty, and how can it be used wisely and at the right level? And I think today as an industry, we're still learning how to use generative AI and how do we use it in such a way that customers know that we're using it so that they feel that they can engage, knowing that it's been, let's just say, cleansed, and it's also being used in such a way that we are providing a reliable source of information. I think those are the challenges in 2023 that are also going to be carried into 2024. And also our post-COVID, we used to have a very clear customer segmentation in travel where you had business needs and leisure needs. These have been completely blended into leisure, what we call leisure requirements. You need to cater for both business and leisure as you travel. And so that brings a whole different set of different challenges in the way that we operate and reward our customers for both their business and leisure needs. And we're still learning in that sense how to adapt to the post-COVID environment.
I think the challenges for this year, from a redemption perspective, I think accrual has not been so much of a challenge for many customers. And airlines have continued to allow accrual on the basis of non-flights. So that opportunity continues to be there. But the opportunities for redemption, I think the bottleneck is that the pipeline is narrowing or is narrow. And I think this problem will continue somewhat into the better part of next year because capacity is going to come back gradually. And as demand continues alongside the capacity that's coming back on a revenue basis, then of course airlines are going to calibrate their inventory in terms of making seats available for redemption purposes. So I think the other manner for which an airline will manage the demand for redemption purposes would be through higher requirements in terms of redemption. So, on a flight from, say, Dubai to London, where, typically you may require 30,000 miles for an economy class seat, may now be 37,500 to be able to get that seat, just because alongside it, there is a revenue demand, right? So I think that challenge is going to continue. Second, I think as we look at new opportunities, not just in the loyalty space, but in general spaces where IT investments, capital expenditure is required, I think companies will be somewhat more considered before they jump on in capital expenditure, capital investments on the technology front, given that we know there is concerns and anxieties about a slowdown in the global economy. Business travelers have not fully returned globally. So therefore, there remain some concerns, I guess, from a cost side for many companies. That includes airlines too. And so investment in some of these areas of new technologies and new boundaries for loyalty may not be as advanced as we would like it to be compared to, say, the years of 2018, 2019, where we saw a lot of investments going into technology on the loyalty space and other areas as well.
A challenge that continues for us is how to best reach our customers. And that was the same we've had this past year, but email remains our core channel. And that's due to scale and efficiency and at almost net zero cost. But its engagement is diminishing over time due to just fatigue, email fatigue, and everyone has so much in their inbox. And so, you know, there's different channels that people are on, and they're all on different, it varies by market as well. Specifically China, we've really been focusing on that one, and there's completely different channels there, and the engagement and the infrastructure and all of it is a whole new world for us to be understanding and to then just determine how do you accommodate these additional channels on top of our existing mix for other markets. So we're starting to invest more in that, but I would say just trying to understand where the customers are, where they expect us to be. Just because they're there doesn't mean that they want to be sold to, and not that we're always trying to sell, but generally, you know, we're a business. We do want eventually our messaging to include promotions or to have some conversion from that. So to understand where we should be and where to really put our resources. You can't do everything and you can't do everything well. And so where should we be focusing on is that changes so often. And email's been so core to our direct marketing efforts in the last decade. And we're trying to look ahead and understand what else to really be dedicating more investment into. I would also say, like, in terms of challenges, it's just something, it's not a negative thing. It's just something that's a natural growth, specific to loyalty programs and especially younger ones. For 2024, something we budgeted for and are planning for is a significant increase in our redemption. And I'll say, like, after launching our rewards currency 2 years ago, you know, it's been in a growth pattern. And even just this past year, we saw redemption triple. Well, next year it's going to grow significantly more. And the idea is there's a significant cost to that on our cost line. So there's an aspect where we need to be mindful of that and budget for that accordingly, and make sure that our stakeholders are informed that that's going to happen. But also it's a good thing, because when people are redeeming, we do fortunately see that redemption is driving the desired behaviors that we want. So it's paying itself off in multiples. And if that continues, then this is actually a really good thing that redemption's gone up 4 or 5 times. However, the cost line is going to go up this way, and then the revenue will meet that.
In 2023, one of our challenges is that we needed to integrate our gamification to our loyalty program in a quick way. Another challenge is about our new program, Global Youth. We have to align Global Youth with our company goals, and also we had to align this program with customer expectations and needs. So these are the most important challenges in 2023. 2024, we are focusing on more personalization. So the new challenges is to utilize AI to increase our personalized element in our loyalty program.
One of the main challenges EmCan faced during 2023 is it's kind of a blessing. We had a tremendous support from our loyal customer and heavy usage of the application. That made us understand the market more. We believe that one of the main challenges is also explaining the changing culture of loyalty, in which will give us a bigger advantage in the future. What I believe that we may encounter as a challenge in 2024 is the comeback of our competitors and peers with new and innovative products. We are looking at huge market trends that could be a challenge, incorporating artificial intelligence, incorporating NFTs, and one of the greatest part, which is gamification. Gamification can move customers because of the engagement and the motivation to use different brands. So that could be the key challenges for the upcoming year.
We continue to grow the program. We continue to provide people with more earning opportunities. Our biggest challenge will continue to be able to reward our members and the most and the premium ones in particular, and provide them access to rewards. Flight rewards are the most aspirational rewards, as I mentioned. Working closely with our RO colleagues to be able to offer more access to seats. But I want to mention that we have Cash Plus Miles also, which you can think of it as a dynamic classic reward, where you can actually book any seat, anytime, any cabin, using Cash Plus Miles or converting. By the way, we've increased that conversion rate as well to make it more attractive for our members. So for me, it's important to continue to provide these reward benefits as we also allow our members to earn more and get access to rewards, to be able to just make that available to them as well. So how do we make sure that that's happening? That's one thing. The second challenge we have is around upgrading our technology as well. So we have taken on a massive transformation from a technology perspective with a partner. We're working, it's a 2-year program where we're going to overhaul our technology and the back end of it, so we can introduce things like unbundled benefits as well, so that today technology doesn't allow us to do that. Also allows us to interact with the downstream systems, because as we introduce new benefits, our operations team need to be aware of these benefits, etc., and we need to find a way to seamlessly provide that experience to our customers, and also provide the right communication to our front end staff, be it at the retail contact center or at the airport as well. So this is very important for us, the technology piece as an enabler, and that overhaul is important. I think the third challenge for us, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, it's something that a lot of airlines are waking up to, but at least we have really invested in this area for the past 3-4 years, and it's a whole fraud prevention piece as well. As miles are becoming more and more a ubiquitous currency that's being used and sought after by a number of by members, it's important for us to protect our members, but also to ensure that that people are adhering to the T's and C's of our programs, that they're not buying miles in the so-called black market or whatever, and then making sure that the right member is can use their miles for their rewards as well. So the fraud prevention is extremely important for us as well, and we're investing heavily in making that happen.